What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another day in the BrewLab. Today, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with something seriously quite freaking special. I just came off a fucking incredible victory with this deck. I think it's I haven't seen anyone else doing this, and because I've seen other. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I have seen others use Druid Class in Landfall decks, okay? Because it makes an obvious amount of sense. You gain 1 life every time a land enters a battlefield under your control on level 1. Level 2 says that you can play an additional land on each of your turns. And level 3 transforms one of your lands into a creature that has haste, that has the power and toughness equal to each of the numbers of lands you control. And it's still a land. So it's an obvious inclusion in any landfall deck, but in exactly this sort of config with the Golgari or Witherbloom colors, I haven't seen anyone do this, and it has been performing. So let me just run through the deck quickly for you guys, show you some of the play lines and synergies, and what is our win con, how we're going to get there, and then then we'll play some games, go into some gameplay footage, and then we'll wrap up at the end and see if there's any adjustments that I make to the deck during the video. And then if there are some adjustments that are made, I will make sure to update the deck on either hub as well as in the video description down below. Coming at you from France again. I hope the stream is holding up great. I'm finally on an incredible like 500 meg fiber optic line in this Airbnb that we're staying in instead of using my phone hotspot, and I must tell you it feels pretty amazing. I was just downloading some torrents at like 6-7 megasecond without worrying about my data pack expiring and stuff. It's pretty good. So Druid Class plus Nissa, Golgari Landfall with AFR cards, a little bit of ramp, like wow. Okay, removal. Let's start with the removal. We're running 3 copies of Bloodchief's Thirst because it's a freaking good card. Okay, we all know Bloodchief's Thirst. It's in every single one of my deck that plays black. 1 mana to destroy anything with creature or planeswalker with mana value 2 or less, and then you pay 4 mana to kick it. Or the kicker cost is 3 for a total of 4, and then you can get rid of anything. Then we're running 4 copies of Binding of the Old Gods. This is a landfall deck. The second chapter on Binding of the Old Gods searches your library for a forest card and puts it onto your battlefield tapped. So that gives you another landfall trigger. So it is an obvious inclusion, and of course it also gets rid of anything. And then the end little bit there with the Death Touch can also be quite useful in some occasions, which I will dive into in a moment. Then we're running 3 copies of Blood on the Snow. Because this is a snow deck, there are snow mana. It's the only card that's making use of that. I'm not even running Faceless Haven. I removed Faceless Haven in favor of Evolving Wilds because it is the only card left in Standard 2022 that allows you to do the thing that all the landfall decks were doing with Fabled Passage in previous Standard. Where you can bring it into play, get 1 landfall trigger, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield, get a second landfall trigger. So great little inclusion, I think, and Faceless Haven is not necessary because we are making man lands or creature lands with so many other things, okay? The 3rd level of Druid Class creates a land that is a creature, and also the +1 ability on Nissa of the Shadowed Boughs, which is the kind of core of this deck, which the whole thing revolves around, also makes a land into a 3/3 elemental creature with haste and menace until end of turn. It is still a land, so not necessary to run Faceless Haven in my opinion. The rest of the deck is just like incredibly good creatures. Shambling Ghast and Eyetwitch are great 1-drops. I think Shambling Ghast is becoming like easily one of the most played cards in this format. Not only does it get dropped on turn 1, but you can sacrifice it to Deadly Dispute on turn 2 and create an incredible amount of mana for turn 3. So you play this turn 1, pass the turn. Turn 2, you drop a land past the turn. On their end step, you sacrifice the Shambling Ghast to a Deadly Dispute. You select the option on Shambling Ghast, Search the Body, which creates a treasure token. Deadly Dispute also creates a treasure token. So on turn 3, you've got 2 lands, 2 treasure tokens. You drop a third land. That's 5 mana available to you on turn 3. Okay, and you've drawn 2 cards off it. It's ridiculous little like ramp package in a color combination that didn't really have much ramp before this, so I'm loving it. I think you'll see this little combo being played in so many decks right now, for obvious reasons. It's just that good. Having 5 mana available on turn 3, you know, you can cast your Goldspan Dragons or whatever. In this case, we are trying to cast Ashaya, the Soul of the Wild, another great obvious inclusion in a Landfall deck. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. So that's another card that has the exact same thing that the level 3 on Druid Class says. So we know, I like to do that. It's like you pick the card that you're trying to like build a whole deck around, and then you find other cards that do the same thing, so you're kind of compounding that effect. You have more chance of it happening. You can have various different avenues for reaching the same great payoff. So Ashaya can be huge in this deck. You just keep playing lands, and of course non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types as well. So you know, if you have other, it's not just going to be as big as the number of lands you control, but also if you have other creatures on the board, it's that big. So incredible addition, I think, to the deck. Had to be played in this deck. Then we have the Ancient Greenwarden. I think severely underplayed and deserves to be played right now because it has reach and 7 toughness. This can block even the big Star Mount Inferno dragon guy. Like any of the big dragons, this thing can block successfully and kill in many cases. This kills the Goldspan dragon. They can no longer attack in anymore. And it fits perfectly in a landfall deck. You may play lands from your graveyard. So Evolving Wilds, you sacrificed it to do the whole Evolving Wilds thing. The following turn you can play it again from your graveyard and again from your graveyard. And if you've got multiple Druid classes in, you can play additional lands on each of your turns. If you have a couple of these in your graveyard, every turn you're playing this 2 times, and each time that it... So, okay, you may play lands from your graveyard. If a land entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So this was great in like landfall decks, but that also happens with Druid Class. So you're going to be gaining 2 life every time this comes in. If you've got 2 Druid classes in, you'll be getting 4 life for every time you cast an Evolving Wilds, and you're also, you know, fetching lands and growing your lands base, which makes your Ashaya bigger and bigger, which makes the man land that you create with the level 3 on Druid class bigger and bigger. So it's just a great little synergy, and I hope to really showcase it in the gameplay footage right after this deck check. But yeah, Ancient Greenwarden, what a card. 3 copies of Ancient Greenwarden. Yeah, nothing much else I can add to that. It's just phenomenal. And you know, you can keep bringing all of these things back to the battlefield. Nissa as well. Not only with Blood on the Snow, you know, which you can either choose 1, destroy all creatures, or choose 2, destroy all planeswalkers, and then you return a creature or planeswalker card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of snow mana spent to cast this spell. So because Blood on the Snow costs 6 and the Ancient Greenwarden costs 6, you can bring anything 6 and down back from the graveyard. So everything in our deck can be brought back from the graveyard by using Blood on the Snow. But then there's also the -5 on Nissa. Because we're getting so many landfall triggers, it's easy to have like a Nissa with like 10 loyalty on the board. It's happened many times to me in gameplay testing before I hit stream. And you can put a creature card with mana value less to and or equal to the number of lands you control onto the battlefield from your graveyard or from your hand. So that's also pretty cool. It doesn't have to be from the graveyard, but you know, mostly we're trying to like reanimate things that have been removed by the opponent, and it comes back into the battlefield as an additional 2 +1/+1 counters on it. So this then becomes a 7/9. That's insane with reach. Okay, you can do that to Ashaya. I've made some massive Ashayas in testing. So much fun. Okay, so what are we trying to do? What is the win con? What is the main sort of way that we're going to be getting the game done? The only other card I haven't talked about here in the intro is a couple of copies of Poet's Quill. It's just another way to access our lesson board, but also gives a creature +1/+1 and lifelink. So a little bit of life gain as well, I think, is essential in every deck. In this case, we've got it through Druid Class when you drop lands, and also by attaching Poet's Quill to one of your creatures. It's also not legendary, so you can have 2 of them on the field and attach 1 to each of your big creatures, and you can, right towards the end of the game, when things are looking dire, you can start to gain some life back and bring your victory back into the realms of possibility. So, what we're trying to do, turn 1, turn 2, playing Eyetwitch or Shambling Ghast, sacrificing them to Deadly Dispute. If you're sacrificing the Eyetwitch, we have access to a lesson board. The usual suspects: Necrotic Fumes, Environmental Sciences, Basic Conjuration, a little bit extra life gain. You can search your library for a creature, put it into your hand, rest in the library bottom order, in the bottom of your library in a random order. Containment Breach, if you want to get rid of some pesky artifacts or enchantments. Mostly other classes, and most of them are 1 or 2 mana. No, they're all either 1 or 2 mana, so this will always make a pest for you, which is pretty nice. Then one way to sort of scry and draw, in case we really need to dig for a specific card. 1 copy of Introduction to Prophecy, 1 Introduction to Annihilation, and then 1 Confront the Past to either get rid of one of their planeswalkers by removing twice X loyalty counters from target planeswalker and opponent controls, or returning Nissa back to the battlefield if we've run out of blood on the snows in the late game. So that's our lesson board, and like I said, we're trying to play either Eyetwitch or Shambling Ghast on turn 1, sacrifice either of them to Deadly Dispute on turn 2, which then allows us to bring out Nissa straight away and start doing our thing. So we start, at some point, hopefully play a Druid Class. If we get it in our opening hand, maybe make that your turn 2 play instead of the Deadly Dispute, and then start doing the Deadly Dispute thing. And with Nissa and Druid Class in play, you start to generate a lot of, if you level up Druid Class to level 2, you start playing additional lands every turn. They're triggering Nissa, you're gaining life, and all the time you're just trying to build yourself up to a point at which you can then drop Ashaya, and then the following turn drop an Ancient Greenwarden. At that point, Ashaya should be huge. Your Ancient Greenwarden will allow you to start fetching those Evolving Wilds that you've been sacrificing in the early game back from the graveyard, as I mentioned earlier, and playing them again and again on top of the Druid Class. More life gain, more lands, until suddenly you have 10, 15 lands on the battlefield. Boom, then you level up the Druid Class. Now, this is something that I have to mention before I'm done with this extremely lengthy deck tech, and I know I'm going on a little rambly, but it is important. When this class becomes level 3, target land you control becomes a creature with haste, and this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. What I initially thought I was going to do, because I just drew a blank, I wasn't thinking of the rules properly, I was going to sort of double up the +1 on Nissa and the level 3 on the Druid Class, and give this land that you make with Druid Class Menace as well. But if you target the land that you've just made into a huge creature with Druid Class, and you target it with the +1 of Nissa, then if this was even a 12/12 or whatever, it again goes back down to a 3/3. It's not that it stacks on top of each other. So just remember that. I made that mistake in a game, and I was like, ugh! I was really hoping to leave it as huge, or even add the 2 toughnesses and strengths together and make an even bigger creature with Menace. That doesn't work. I haven't then had the chance to test it the other way around, where you first +1 one of your lands with Nissa, and then you level up your Druid Class level 3 and target the very same land. I think the exact same thing is going to happen, but whichever one comes last will be the one that is the one that actually works. So just be aware of that. Don't make that mistake. You wanna the Druid Class one is the best one because it's bigger. Okay, the Nissa's one has Menace, but this can be huge. So I'd rather go for the Druid Class. That makes sense. The Nissa plus one is just there for chip damage in the early game. 3/3/3, you know, before they get any significant blockers up. Also, it always goes back to being a land, so they can't kill it in any way unless they've got untapped mana and instant speed removal, which there's very little of in the format right now. So just use the plus one of Nissa to just get some little chip damage in the early game. But then your real game enders are the land from the Druid Class, and then, you know, a huge Ashaya and an Ancient Greenwarden. But Ancient Greenwarden mostly for blocking dragons and getting the double triggers on landfalls. That's the deck. Sorry I rambled on for so long, but I really felt like I needed to explain it. I think it's pretty unique. I haven't seen anybody else doing this. And I've had some really fun games. Also, by the way, tomorrow, don't miss tomorrow's deck. Rule Elves, okay? In last night's video, yesterday's video, I realized when I was trying to what's it called? Fear or something? Oh my god, what's the name of the card? Crippling Fear. I was playing the Elves deck, and I Crippling Feared Elves, and they had Delina on the field. Little did I remember that Delina is an Elf Shaman. That's the creature type. So, you know, it's the one elf in red that we have, and so I made a Gruul Delina elf deck that has just been popping off. So that's coming up tomorrow. Keep your eyes on the channel for that. But that's enough. That's the introduction. Let's jump into some games. Before I do so, if I could ask all of you who are watching this to kindly consider subscribing to the channel if you have not done so already. So it really helps me out. And of course, leave me a thumbs up and some comments down below. It would be much appreciated. Obrigado. Enough of that, let's jump to this game. That looks like a great opener. Sucks when you've got 3 of these, big like late game plays, and you get 2 of them straight away, but you know, that's variance for you. Okay, that's not variance, that's bullshit. Like the shuffle is fine, everything's fine. Of course. It's a freaking mega match. DS Verde 10. DS3 Verde. Hasting Flying Death Touchy Angel Clericy Duty. Sacrifice the Vengeful Reaper. He's probably also running Deadly Dispute. Everybody's running it these days. Yeah, even better. I'm okay with that. Scrying. Well, we get to play Ashaya next turn, but I'm having that many of them in. Ooh, Nexus deck. Nice. Love me some Nexus jank. I don't know what you got waiting for me here. Oh, 7/7, baby. Anything that says destroy target non-land permanent, that sucks. It's good that we have a copy. Another Soul Shatter. Wouldn't be surprised. I've always got 2. Power Word. Helpful Mastery. Suck. Comes the third Ashaya. Are you ready for this one, you ass? That's a bridge. It's not good at all. If he tries to kill it, we can sack it to really this week. And we can kill that easily. Nissa. -3, please.
Liliana Vess? Sorry, haven't heard that one before.
Pretty annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, there we go, that's nice. Okay, so I think what we should do is Prismatic Bridge, bye-bye.
Thank you for all the kindness.
It's gonna hit me for 6, but then he's gone next turn, and I will be bringing back. Although he's probably running Blood on Snow as well. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. That was a bit of a waste. I wouldn't have cast that if I was him. Oh, I should have played the land after the Nissa. That was a misplay. Sorry. Terribly sorry.
The land will devour intruders.
The opponent is low on lands now. I mean low on cards. I mean so are we. Our hand is empty. They're top decking as well. Let's see what they've got.
Land is savage and defiant.
You're going to take 15, or you're going to block Ashaya with your Shapeshifter. We need to find a way to give these things all trample. That would really be the kind of game ender. Maybe instead of Poet's Quill, we run some sort of trample equipment. There is one in the new set, or is it Strixhaven? I think there's a trample equipment. Hey Billy, welcome to the stream, brother. Good to have you. I'll be playing your deck actually. I'm trying to fiddle around with it, make it a little better. I'm not saying it was a crap deck, but is it gonna go? Yeah.
You have doomed my home.
A bad move. I would have gone to a Ashaya if I was there. Keep those chomp blockers coming, buddy. So I can binding on the old gods and the Mascot Nexus. So lucky that it draws this guy. I take Relic. Two 13/13s, baby. That is just epic. That is just so epic. How good was that? Oh, that is very. Alright. What next? We'll make another little guy. Oh, no, mate. Yeah. All good. We can get it back at some point. Can't have him gaining too much life in the air. Okay. Yes.
Those who do not speak to the land cannot be trusted. We will protect my home.
Ranger class. This is not looking good. This is not looking that good. I'm a little bit worried. very worried. Bad luck. Absolute bad luck.
Must be stopped.
Ugh. Absolutely worst piece of luck.
Cower before the elements.
Top block. I'm okay with that. Still lose the Nissa. This Maskwood Nexus just fucked us over big time.
Do not defile my lands.
Okay. So annoying.
The world will shake you loose.
Oh, come on, deck. Don't let me down. I need blood on the snow. Like yesterday. God, this Nexus is just killing us. So much freaking value. It's so weird, deck. It's like crazy. There's just so much random. Oh, fuck you. Bit of bad luck. Let's jump into some game 2. Let me see those decks, Billy. I'm always interested. And if you want to like discuss and play test later, let me know. I'm keen. I'm always keen. I'm always interested to see what other people are playing, whether I can incorporate it into one of my ideas. There's a like bit of genius in everybody that has been playing this game for long enough. An Americano. Americano sleeves versus Italiano sleeves. Bring it on, huge. Goblins? Nah, it's the dice rolling deck. Maybe that dwarf. Or the little, no, they're all like 3 and 4 drops in this deck, except for the dwarf. And these classes have changed the game so much. Okay, so he leveled up. Now he foretold something. Pretty happy we drew another land there. We can now get rid of something. What to play, Nissa? Probably saw it coming. Why not? Yeah, it's definitely saw it coming. Counter spell there. Oh no, it wasn't. See, that's the best thing about Foretell. Like, it stopped me from playing something more important because I was worried of the counter spell. Foretell. No. Tazocum? Tazocum? Tazokm? Let's try it. He's gonna counter it probably. Obviously. Yay, counter spells. Yay. 1 mana away from blooding on the snowing. Hopefully he'll play something that we can remove instead of just saying go. Another counter spell. Special. Let me give everything haste. No. Yep, that's another counter spell. For sure. What an ass hat. I hope that's all of your bullshit out of your hand right now. And there's 2 sword coming. It's probably a 3rd one there if I know my luck. He's probably desperate for a red source. He's probably got Goldspan Dragon or something stupid in his hand. Starting to get really sick of Goldspan. Playing it. Oh, okay. It was a Behold. Wasn't another sword coming. Pretty annoying as well, because now his hand there. But there's the Deluna I was waiting for. Bye bye. If you're playing Barbarian class and you're not playing Delina, what are you doing? It's just the 2 cards go so well together. Can make some treasures. At least we're not playing against the player that's playing black. They've got no targeted removal in red that can do 6 damage, I don't think. I mean, there's only one now. There's the new, called like Meteor Swarm that does 8 damage for 4 red, or 3 red and 1 X. Don't think he's running that. Well, I mean, he might be, but he doesn't have the mana for it anymore, so. This is sticking on the field. Okay, should we get rid of something here with another binding, or should we save it for something more crucial? I think we save it. Seven. What's it gonna be? We've got Blood on the Snow mana. We've got Binding mana. We've got a 6. We got 7 power on the battlefield. He's gonna go down to 2 if he does nothing about this. Okay. Gives everything haste, plays a Delina, plays a Pixie Guide, becomes Infinite Roll Mania. God, what a joke. This couldn't go infinite. He's got it, yeah, this is gonna go infinite. I should have gotten rid of the class. Okay. Phew. That's okay. I'm happy to take it. When your creatures are gonna go down. Boy.
The land is savage and defiant.
Looks like we got a win. Unless he's got another Delina in hand, we'll probably still win. Ah! Yeah. got the gold spam. I mean, we've got the binding with the gold spam. Why did you not attack? You silly man. Oh yeah, I mean, I could have menaced anyway. Good game.
The swamp, come to my aid.
Epic. Okay, Redeemer. That was great. I hope you liked that one, Billy. I hope you're still watching. That was freaking epic. This deck it's version 1. I made it and I played it. Nothing adjusted. I think I'm starting to realize we need some trample on those big creatures or flying. Maybe we can sneak in, instead of the Poet's Quill, we'll put in something else. I did want 4 cards to access the lesson board, but we could also just go down 1 Ghast, up 1 Twitch, down 2 Poet's Quills, and then let's go have a look. Equipment. There is one that has the auto attack. The auto attach from the way that equipments were made in Zendikar Rising. That as they enter the battlefield, you attach it straight away. You don't have to pay the equip cost. So we could do Kite. Put a couple of copies of this in, just to keep in our hands until the right moment, and then slap it on an Ashaya or a big land and swing in. Or there is this guy, but that you need to cast and then equip for 3. But if you equip it to a token, ooh. None of these are tokens. I think this might be the way to go. Let's give it a try. Couple copies of Cliffhaven Kitesail. Give those big creatures flying. Let's give it a whirl. Elite Spellbinder Teleportation Circle. I haven't played Teleportation Circle yet, Billy. I think that might be some juice for, I've already got a plan for tomorrow's deck with the Gruul Elves, but the following day, I've got 4 copies of Teleportation Circle. I haven't played it yet at all. Oh, we just played this guy. Just played this guy. As if the matchmaker, like millions of people playing this game, end up playing against the exact same guy. It's as big as before. Shit. We've got a nice little ranked package here with Deadly Dispute and Shambling Ghast, so let's keep behind. Wish they made fly cards in green. Yeah. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. That would be epic. There is the new dragon. What's his face? Old Nova or whatever. But yeah, there's not that many green flyers. Green is trampled. Let's get to the color pie. Treasure, another treasure, more lands, lovely stuff. Nissa likey. I just sent one of my friends a video of this guy from Facebook. They're doing facial waxing. It looks like somewhere in the Middle East. The hairdresser literally covers your patient's face's entire face and head with this like resin stuff. Here comes Tim. Another deck. Oh yeah, we just played this guy. I mustn't forget. Yeah. time you do me. I'm not sure why you would do something like that. Alright. There's our Kitesail. Okay, now we just need to draw a Ashaya. Sadly. Nice card. Weird card. Highly sure how I should be playing it, to be honest. Card, that's okay. Now we've got the little combo. I'm not going to cast the Kitesail right away. I'm going to play Ashaya, wait and see if he's got removal. God, that is just so annoying. I hate life. Like, you know, hand hate. What an ass. What an ass. Oh, it pains me to do that. Oh, there was a shy on the top. Oh my god, dude. You are the worst person on the planet. I hate you with all my heart. Go and die slowly somewhere. A painful death, you complete ass. What a crock of shit. And now we're just gonna top deck land for the rest of the game. What a crock of shit. Excuse my French, man. That is just why are you playing this card? What is the point of getting rid of all my treasures? You can tell why this guy is at 77% at like, come on, what a terrible play. Okay. Funny bit of cards all we have in the deck. Let's get something good. Come on. What are we killing? Definitely the Druid Class, or the Ranger Class. Beg your pardon. Unbelievable that he had fly. I mean, go blank. I cannot believe all the way through if the card just went into the exile zone forever. What a crock of crap. Yeah. Okay. Glimmer of hope. Unbelievable. That was such bad luck, man. He's obviously got removal for this land when we make it. I'm like certain of it. So let's rather go for the Greenwarden. And this. 2 targets he needs to choose from. Comes Soul Shadow. Go for that. You are a real piece of work, my friend. More removal, come on. Yes. What a charming fellow. if I top deck another land, I'm gonna quit this game. Woo!
I am the voice of Zendikar, and my will reigns supreme. Cower before the elements!
Nice. Doesn't work for me. Why this game? What are you talking about that?
Protect my home!
What are you gonna fetch? Everything? Because Mossfoot Nexus makes everything a god. So you're gonna go fetch every single creature in your deck. Slam it on the battlefield. Haven't seen anyone do this stupid combo in a long time. Cannot believe we're losing to this guy. Bye. Enjoy your life being a very annoying person. Good deck, nice deck. Like, you know, you deserve an applaud there, but wow, that was really annoying. You know what? We need my lucky hat. I'll be right back. Exit stage right, enter stage left. Yeah. You're right, my left, other way around. Come on, let's get a nice win for the viewers. Kyle Vurmin. The chances of coming up against the same person twice in this game is so slim in Mythic that, like, there's definitely some shenanigans going on with the shuffler and the matchmaker. Like, I'm convinced of it at this point. I don't care if anybody wants to call me a conspiracy theorist. Bring it on. I am convinced. Double bugbears. Game with the misplays. I should have played the Druid Class then the land. Could have gained 2 life instead of 1. At least I noticed them after I do them. Try not to repeat them again. Boasting, huh? Ouch. That's not good. I hope that was the right choice. I think it was. Ay, caramba. This game's over as well. So getting less land than a mono red deck. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. How long have we been streaming? Okay, we got time for like 2 more games for Shell. Come on, Lucky Hat, do your job. Do your job. Cheers. Dude, we just played this guy as well. What the fuck is going on? We just played this dude. What a joke. The rolling dicey guy. All the counter spells. Oh, ugh. How can like this happen so often? Get rid of that sword coming in your hand. That's nice. So it's one of the multiverses. And like in one stream, out of millions of people that play the game, we end up versing the same people twice over. The chances of that are so slim. I don't even go there. I knew that was it was. Even I saw it coming.
One truth the world will shake you loose.
Might get this one again. I mean, we beat him last time by the... He almost went infinite there. He had the double...
I will fight even harder.
Close. Watch this though.
Cannot quell the royal.
This is kind of like coming back, even though it hits non-giants, you know, except for non-giants. It's still a good sweeper for this color combination. If you don't want to be playing Draconic Intervention or whatever, because there's less sweepers available in this standard 2022 queue. They're using this more now than it used to see play. This only used to see play in the Giants deck. Now it's like cropping up in a bunch of Prismari decks. It's kind of like a Storm's Wrath.
Land is savage and defiant.
Coming. Oh, you better have something real special in your hand now. Or you are gonna. Imagine we draw the Kitesail. What's it called? The Cliffhaven Kitesail next. That would be just too epic. We beat that guy twice. Sorry, buddy. That deck's not good enough. Okay, We're approaching the last game of the night. Let's end on a win. Oh, not the same people again, please. I crawl my way into the top 90% at least before the season ends. I've just been testing too much jank, and I mean that it's been so much fun doing so. But yeah, I don't think, and I haven't had enough time off of the stream to play really good decks all day to push it up there, so it's okay. Ending in Mythic is good enough for me right now. I just drove for 5 hours from Italy to the south of France today, got here, still spent the whole evening out with the wife, then only got round to like planning the stream, so you know, I do what I can. But we made Mythic, so that's okay. Istanbunf. BNF. Ooh, refreshing. We haven't had any white. It's probably dragons. Yep. Ooh, I played this deck yesterday. Go check that video out. Horrible performance in the gameplay footage, but great deck. Really good response from the fans. Yeah, no, I'll kill you if you do that. Aha! Okay. Magecraft. I would put that on here, he would have gone up by 1 more. Can't attack with the Symmetry Sage, can you? That was stupid. Oh, well, he's not going to attack, but still, that was a bit stupid. I have a feeling it's going to be the Cat Cleric guy next. What's his name again? Code Spell Cleric, no, that's the 1-drop. Code Spell Cleric, the 2/2 Cat Cleric guy with Magecraft. I'll block that. What combat tricks have you got? These decks often get mana screwed. Yeah, I've been playing something very similar to this as well. It's not that good. It's really not that good. Off you go. They get mana screwed because they have such a low curve that they play. There we go. Leonin Light Scribe. That's the guy I was trying to say. What do we got? 2 black. Let's get a green. Can block and then sacrifice it after blockers have been declared. Stops the attack running through. There's his 3rd land. Just kind of dreading that. There's your Clarion Spirit as well. What a bunch of beautiful top decks. Okay, so I think what we should do here is Blood on the Snow now. Then start playing our bombs. 5/7 with reach, baby. Double triggers on the Druid Class. Bing, bing. Ashaya next turn. Okay. Ending. Looks like we're ending on a win. Woo! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That was freaking epic. Just going to read my chat here quick. Just made a 2.7 average deck with black and white, 17 creatures, 8 instants, 2 sorceries. Well, that's crazy. How can you have that? How many cards are in the deck, Billy? Send me the list. Send me the list. I'm gonna end the stream and then we're gonna chat on Facebook. All right? Yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I am going to be coming back at you tomorrow, as always, with a fresh brew. I hope you enjoyed the footage. I hope you enjoyed this fresh brew. I think it's unique. I haven't seen anyone playing anything like it. We got some convincing wins there. We've made one little adjustment, giving the creatures flying instead of gaining the lifelink. I think we have enough life gain with the Druid class to forego that and try and actually make the creatures have some evasive ability as the game ender. So I think that Cliffhaven Kite thing is a good little addition. I will now modify the deck list on either hub and in the description of the video down below, so that you can copy the most up-to-date version we just played with now in the last couple of games. But yeah, until tomorrow, thank you all so much for watching, and this is the Lone Fox signing out. Peace, y'all.